afternoon, my name is Jasper Rowland, and these are your 3:30 headlines. Former Liverpool centre-back and current pundit Jamie Carragher says Arne Slot has a week to save his job. Writing for The Telegraph, Carragher believes the next 3 games will decide Slot's future at the club. Speaking in a press conference ahead of this weekend, Slot talks about the pressure of managing at a top club.
A lot of pressure if you work or play at a top club. And even more so if you start losing more games than this club or this players or this manager is used to. So then there's always pressure. But there was a lot of pressure last season as well for us to win the league. And now it's a different kind of pressure because we've lost so many games.
Australian captain Pat Cummins will miss the second Ashes test in Brisbane. Cummins has suffered with a bone injury and hasn't played since July, forcing him out for the first test in Perth. Batsman Steve Smith will continue as Australian captain for the day-night test at the Gabba starting next Thursday. When studying, you are stressed and worried about deadlines. What if we told you that Solent offers a 3-hour slot for students, teachers and anyone in the local area to play sport in a relaxing environment? Shay Lucas has more.
We're here at the Solent Sports Complex, where we've come down to check out the Social Rackets Club. Come with me to find out more. Pickleball, table tennis, badminton. Social Rackets is an all-inclusive club that welcomes players of all abilities.
My name is Charlie. I'm the Sports Development Officer here at Southampton Solent University. We do social rackets on a Monday, Tuesday and Thursday. Essentially it's an opportunity for students, members of staff, alumni and public players just in the Southampton area to get involved with cheap and casual, turn up and play style activities. Racket sports is something that we've all done as kids growing up, so I figured it would be something that would be quite inclusive, pickleball being one of them as well.
Despite being a fantastic opportunity to play racket sports free of charge in a non-competitive environment, the club often struggles with numbers.
We based a lot, our numbers are based on students showing up and turning up. So some weeks they'll be there, some weeks they won't. Typically on average we probably get about 4 or 5 for each session, but some weeks we've gone up to about 20 students for each session.
The club hopes to grow its participants by introducing sessions at different times of day.
We only offer sessions at lunchtime hours, but we want to try and get into having evening slots because that's when students are most available. So once we break into that space, I think we'll be able to have more people join as well.
However, Blake Twitching, a regular attendee of the club, said how numbers are improving.
When I first started coming, there was only about 4 or 5, but in the past couple of weeks, it's definitely increased. If you look around you now, there's a whole bunch more people. So I've never played pickleball before, and I'm starting to really enjoy it. It's something a bit different. Can't complain whatsoever.
Pickleball's a great sport in my opinion because you can have a great game with someone who plays really well, but you can also have a good game with someone who's a complete beginner. And it is important because the people who come to these sessions, they might not necessarily be keen into competitive sport, so this is the only outlet that they have, and I think it's important that they're represented as well.
Shay Lucas, Solent Sports News.
Sticking with racket sports, we now go live to Shay Lucas, who is looking deeper into one of the sports at the Social Rackets Club.
Hi, thank you for that, Jasper. I'm here joined with Jake Morris, who is a regular attendee at the Social Rackets Club here at Solent University. Me and Jake are going to have a quick game of table tennis whilst I ask him a bit more about the social club. So Jake, how long have you been attending the Social Rackets Club?
So I've been going for a few weeks, just really enjoying it. It's just, yeah, nice social club on a Thursday offering free sports, which are table tennis, badminton and pickleball.
Very nice. Out of the 3, which one's your favourite, would you say?
I'd probably say badminton, because I played it a little bit in school, like for my GCSEs and A-levels. But
yeah.
All 3 are really fun.
And obviously, you've just mentioned pickleball. It's a sport that's growing more and more, and it's offered at the club as we've seen. Had you played it before, joining the club?
I hadn't played it before joining, but like I said, I played a bit of badminton, a bit of tennis and paddle, so it's all quite transferable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one that I've really enjoyed getting to grips with and learn how to play it.
Very nice. And the club's struggled a little bit with numbers. How many normally attend?
We normally only get like about 5 people. So yeah, we're trying to grow it.
Yeah.
And get more people down. Just try and encourage people to come down. I mean, it's free on a Thursday. You can just pop down in between doing some work or doing some lectures. But yeah.
Lovely. And is it just open for students, or is the public, teachers allowed?
It's open for anyone. So students, members of the public, lecturers, anyone. So I mean, if you come down, bring a few more friends, even if you're not at the uni. Yeah, just come down and get involved.
Lovely. Okay. Right. Just to finish, then we'll have a game.
Right,
First to 2 points. Okay. Oh! Unbelievable table tennis.
Oh!
Right, last point. Bit of a dodgy ball, this one, I think. Oh! Okay, and we'll hold it there. Jake, thank you for joining us. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Shay. Here at Solent University, the badminton team compete in BUCS events weekly. They do this despite struggling to attract new members year on year. Our reporter, Nathan Williams, has a racket in hand to tell you more.
Badminton, a sport that requires athleticism, anticipation and accuracy.
I swapped out my tennis racket for a badminton one and come down to Solent University's badminton team's training session, and where, as you can see, numbers are relatively low. I want to find out why this is and the struggles that they face at the start of the 2025-26 BUCS campaign.
However, regardless of these low numbers, year on year the team manages to compete weekly in BUCS events across the country. Captain and coach Matt Wilson is aware that as a smaller university it's difficult to attract people to the sport, but encourages more to turn out and try it just for fun.
So yeah, for something like today, it's a mixture of people just coming to play, and obviously there's a few people that play in the team, but mainly training is about just people coming, especially at a small unit, it's just getting as many people as we can in the door, and then if we can sort of turn them over into players that want to play in the BUCS, that's something we aim for, but it's not the goal necessarily. So yeah, I mean the numbers could potentially be high as in that rate, as you said, but as in a whole it seems to be not too bad.
Compared to many others sports, badminton is relatively easy to pick up, but like any sport, tricky to master. So I wanted to get a few tips of first team player Tristan to see if the sport was easy or difficult to pick up, and to see if this was one of the reasons as to why more people haven't signed up to the team this year.
What have I done wrong there then?
Okay, so your footwork is a little bit off. You're doing lots of little steps. So in badminton you need to do like big steps like that and lunges like this. You need to be able to get used to how the shuttle reacts to your racket and just how to hit it in general. Nice. Nice.
Gone for the big shot there and it hasn't paid off. That's me done for tonight here at Solent Badminton. I've thoroughly enjoyed finding out how their season's gone so far, as well as taking part myself. But one thing's for certain, I shall be returning back to my tennis racket tonight.
Nathan Williams, Solent Sports News.
The United Kingdom is set to host the 2035 Women's World Cup. The UK's bid was submitted before Friday's deadline and faced no competition from other countries. Some of the proposed stadiums include Man United's new 100,000-seater and Birmingham's Powerhouse Stadium.
Yeah, I think, of course, we brought the bid in now, and it's not done yet that that is going to the UK. But it's really exciting because if you see what it's going to look like, it's going to be the biggest event worldwide ever, which is really exciting. And of course, what we also all experience that the women's game is growing, and we want to keep pushing, keep going. So yes, I'm really excited about it.
The Lionesses are back in action tomorrow against China in the first of 2 international friendlies. Number 1, Hannah Hampton is sidelined due to injury, with the 21-year-old debutant Kiara Keating expected to take her place. Kira Walsh has hinted about taking the captain's armband, but nothing has been confirmed as of yet. She's one of England's brightest football talents, but Hannah Hampton's story goes far beyond the pitch. Connor Wellstead reports on how the goalkeeper overcame a lifelong eye condition to reach the top of the women's game.
Forget a cold, wet, rainy night in Stoke. This is the kind of pitch that people grow up playing on. However, this luxury isn't always afforded to everyone. For the likes of the BBC Women's Player of the Year, this wasn't always the case. But why is that? Let's go find out more. Of it.
This week, Hampton was crowned BBC Women's Player of the Year after an incredible season, winning the Yashin Trophy, helping Chelsea to a domestic treble and playing a key role in England winning at the Euros.
Behind Hannah Hampton's rise to fame, there's an underlying issue that many people don't actually know about. She suffers from a strabismus. This affects her eyesight, eye alignment and depth perception. Growing up, she spent hours every month doing tests just like these, the kind most of us only do every couple of years. For her, regular checks were the difference between staying on the pitch or not playing at all. Throughout all of this, one question still arises. What is a strabismus and how can it affect someone?
A misalignment of the eyes. It could be a horizontal or vertical misalignment, and it can occur at any age and can sometimes be related to a refractive error, which means a focusing problem with the eyes. The eyes tend to over-converge, which is where the eyes tend to turn inwards, or tend to diverge, which is where the eyes turn out.
People with strabismus, especially growing up, are told that you've not got depth perception, you've not got this, you've not got that, and because of that, people are unfortunately they're kind of shunned away from playing sports such as football.
Hannah Hampton has gone above and beyond expectation, which has been getting a lot of praise from other people in the women's game.
Absolutely, I mean she's a huge inspiration to the next generation of goalkeepers. She's had to overcome so much, like you say. It's a great sign, I think, for anyone in my generation. I'm 26, I'm around the same age as Hannah. Growing up, we were all told that we couldn't play football because we were girls. The fact that she had so much else to overcome as well.
Her reward is a reminder that setbacks don't control what we do in life. Hannah Hampton has gone above and beyond, even with her issues, to become a household name that everyone knows. Perfect. Fun fact, I actually used to play in goal.
Oh yeah, any good?
Well, put it like this, I had perfect eyesight and I was still
Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta was impressed with his side's performance against what he described the best team in Europe. The Gunners face another tough test on Sunday with a top-of-the-table clash at Stamford Bridge versus Chelsea.
Well, first of all, I have to praise our players because I think they had an incredible match against, in my opinion, the best team in Europe. And individually, we were immense to resolve all the challenges that these teams brings to the table. And after, yes, they know how hard we work to prepare for every single game. We know that the margins are super small. We started the week really well against the Spurs, winning here at home. Today is another massive victory, but that's it. Now go to home, have a nice dinner, and tomorrow morning we start to prepare Stamford Bridge.
Now we go over to the glitz and glamour of the ballroom, where our very own tiny dancer Harry McBain visited DM Studios in St Mary's to see the impact dance has had on the community.
Every Saturday night, millions of people tune in to BBC One to see celebrities dance and be scored. But did you know that ballroom and Latin dance has been officially recognised as an Olympic sport?
We've come along to DM Studios in St Mary's to find out more about the sport and its benefits. Hayley, the instructor and owner of the studios, has been dancing since she was a child and thinks it's a great way to keep fit.
It's brilliant for people's minds and bodies because you're having to remember the steps, recall information, as well as move your body around the floor.
DM Studios holds a weekly class for members of the public to get into the sport.
We pride ourselves on a community feel. So people come every week and they all know each other, they hang out socially. We have events as well to cultivate that. Anything to keep that interaction going with other people.
And for those who are keen to pick up how to get into hold or to learn a simple step or two, you can Lindy hop in at any time.
We have one class a week here at DM Studios for the Ballroom and Latin, and that is on a Thursday night, 8:35 to 9:35. We do 4 different ballroom and 4 different Latin. Because we work on this 4-week rotation, people can start at any point because they will learn the 2 styles that evening. Also, we have 3 different levels within the class usually. So we'll do beginners with one teacher, improvers with another, and advanced with another teacher. So they can progress through the same class all within that hour.
Well, I think I've learned a thing or two about dance and its benefits, and thank you to DM Studios for having us here. And if I've learnt one thing, I'd say it's this. Keep dancing!
Max Verstappen has given McLaren driver Oscar Piastri a warning over helping his teammate Lando Norris. Verstappen believes he'll be labelled as a number 2 driver if he sacrifices his season for Norris's maiden World Championship. A win for the British number 4 at this weekend's Qatar Grand Prix would almost certainly clinch him the title. We all have 1 or 2 safe sports that cover the majority of our sporting needs, but could you imagine your enjoyment if you combined some of them together? Toby Chapman imagined that and went searching for just this.
It's often said that 2 great things coming together doesn't often work. Sometimes it does. Ice cream and cookie dough. Put together 2 nice tasting foods, combine to make something that tastes even better. But a lot of the time it doesn't work. For instance, having a good time riding a bike and reading a book will probably result in an accident. I've come to the University of Southampton, where I've heard murmurs that some of the students here are playing a sport which is a combination of 2 others.
Numbered buoyancy aids, helmets with face masks, canoeing indoors.
Canoe polo is a sport that's played indoors and outdoors. It's a 5-a-side sport. Aim of the game is to work as a team and sort of game session of the pool and then hopefully getting it into the nets at each end of the pitch. It's a bit like basketball, it's a bit like water polo, and it's all in a kayak. Okay, so you're combining all your boat skills, but then you're also combining shooting and passing ability and team skills as well. So yeah, it's a really mixed sport. Aim of the game is you can't be hitting the keeper, so that's the boat that's under the net. If you hit them, that would be what's considered a foul. You can't hold the ball for more than 5 seconds. Paddle foul, so you can't hit anyone with your paddle. That's dangerous. You know, things that are considered dangerous and deliberate, that's a big no-no. You can get sanction cards and stuff like that.
It's quite like a big league system. We tend to play with our universities that are in bucks, but there's also Nat leagues.
The league has around 72 teams that take part in it.
If you've done it at a university club, you can then more often than not find a local club. There's also international tournaments as well.
Internationally, we have 4 GB teams. They compete at World Championships every 2 years and a European Championships at the years in between.
But as a beginner, and same goes with like youth teams and lower level clubs.
And I went to look at kayaking, and I accidentally found the Canoe Polo Club.
Canoe polo was one of them, so I came along to the taster session. I really enjoyed it.
Biggest barrier for entering canoe polo would probably be access. So for me back home, I'm not aware of any sort of kayaking clubs. There might be one local to me, but I don't know of any that play canoe polo.
Another barrier is our weather, obviously, because in the winter it's very cold to play. And actually that's an equipment barrier more than it is anything else, because if you have the right equipment, like a good CAG deck, good thermal layers, you can bridge that quite easily. I love the sport because I came across it at uni personally. I'd never done anything like it.
Just YouTube it. It's great. It's a great sport to watch. Just give it a go because...
So, it's settled. Canoe polo is a sport that combines multiple others and results in something great. If you've been inspired and want to get involved yourself, Paddle UK have a club finder map where you can find the nearest club to you. If getting into the water isn't really your thing, events and clips of the sport can be found at the European Canoe Association website. Maybe consider giving canoe polo a watch if you want a dose of.
It's so high paced, it's so much fun. You've got push people in certain situations, so you can be thinking about that. It's ball handling, and it's also tactical, and the teamwork element as well. So add all of those together and what's not to like about the game.
The Dallas Cowboys edged out the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28 for their third win in a row in this year's NFL Thanksgiving action yesterday. Thanksgiving also included wins for the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals, who got the better of their respective division rivals, the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. The Commonwealth Games will head to India and to the city of Ahmedabad for the centenary edition of the Games. The announcement was made in Glasgow in preparation for next year's event in the Scottish city. Speaking to the media, head of the Games, Dr. Donald Ricari, says the next two games act as a silver lining for the Commonwealth movement.
We really stand here in November, despite the weather, looking very, very optimistic that the future of the Games and the movement is very solid and good. So we really believe that the silver lining in the cloud, the lining in the cloud is quite silver, and we believe that it can only get better.
Southampton are aiming to make it 5 consecutive wins tomorrow as they take on Millwall at the Den. This is the final instalment of consecutive London away days for the Saints, having previously put QPR and Charlton to the swords. Interim manager Tonda Eckert has put his name firmly in the hat to land the job on a full-time basis. With Southampton on a hot streak with their interim manager, our reporter Ben Lester has more on the story.
The People's Games hosts some of the most craziest fans. But what happens when a club's success doesn't just come from the players, but from the interim manager? Southampton have won 4 in a row now after they beat Leicester City 3-0 a few days ago. But does interim manager Tonda Eckhart deserve the full-time role? I spoke with Lewis Combs, who is a BBC reporter, alongside members of the public on what they think should happen.
I think he's certainly doing everything he possibly can to get that job. You know, in terms of auditions, he hasn't put a foot wrong yet, has he? You know, to go from a team that hadn't won many games to then win 4 on the bounce, it's down to him, I think. You know, the tactical changes he's made. You can see the noises coming out of the players. They're very happy. They seem to be playing with a bit more freedom. And certainly behind the scenes as well, the noises are that it looks like he's going to get it until the end of the season at least. The only downside is that when he has any adversity, you know, what's the reaction? It's all gone very swimmingly so far. So his inexperience may be tested if they say lose 2 games on the bounce. But until you lose, you don't know how he's going to react. So he's doing everything he needs to at the moment, and I'd expect he probably will get the job, yeah.
I think we shouldn't employ him straight away, because that's what other clubs have done, like with Gary O'Neill, and as soon as they employ them, then it doesn't work out so well, and then you've got to pay out a load of money. So keep him as he is, and then hopefully he keeps performing, and all good.
But he seems like he's made a really good start, and I mean, they have Will Still, who's like a bigger name maybe. Fans were maybe a bit more excited, and bringing in someone like Eckhart, I think you would have thought maybe it's a backward step just going for someone at the club, but he seems like he's made a really good start. 4 wins. I mean, out of 4 games, you can't really ask for more than that. And I mean, beating a team like Leicester, who I know haven't had a great season, but you'd think they would have been in the promotion sort of race with Saints. So I think that's a really good result.
Well, I think he's built a very good case for it. Obviously, he's won 4 on the bounce now. He's proper turned things around here at Southampton. I think he should get it. I'd be giving it to him. I was sat in the boardroom up in Southampton, because he's given plenty of reasons why he should be. He hasn't said why he shouldn't. There's not much more you can do really to get the job. Winning 4 in a row, scored plenty of goals, bounced the sides back, and they could be chasing promotion places now.
Ben Lester reporting for Solent Sports News.
UEFA are currently investigating an incident that occurred at Villa Park as Aston Villa beat Swiss side Young Boys 2-1 in the Europa League. The incident under investigation happened after Daniel Marlin scored his and Villa's first, with the away fans throwing objects at the Villa forward. 2 fans have been arrested for their actions in yesterday's clash. Tomorrow is an important day in the Solent Sports newsroom as we're hosting our first live Soccer Saturday of the year. Our TV team will be live from 2 o'clock with panellists and live reporters covering games across Europe from Monaco against PSG to Basingstoke taking on Walton and Hersham, and even previews ahead of the Lionesses match against China. Our web team will also be keeping you up to date on our website throughout tomorrow's footballing action. That's all from us for now. Make sure to stay up to date 24/7 on our website, solentsportsnews.com. Goodbye.